Oh, thank you, Jamie Lee. Well, it's now time for us to be in the kitchen. So even though the kids are going back to school, I can guarantee you there is no kid, young or old, who can say no to a delicious, yummy jam cookie. And with the versatility of our Clover Classic dairy snack, we are using it to make the most delectable jam cookies to fill up those cookie jars, because everyone deserves a sweet treat from time to time, and especially if the little ones are going back to school and they come home, they want that sweet treat. And Chef Tumi is in studio to show us how to make these delicious jam cookies.
And the lovely thing about them is we call them thumbprint cookies, so you can actually get them involved in putting their own stamp on it when you're making them, and they're perfect for after-school snacking. So they come back from school and you want to keep them busy.
Yes.
Let's make the thumbprint cookies, and then on top of that, you can also then just keep them aside for, you know, those
for future little snacks.
Exactly.
To start, and it's not just for the kids.
It's not just for the kids. To start it off, we've got some butter here that we've softened basically, and into here I'm going to add some sugar. We're basically creaming the butter and the sugar together to get a nice thick consistency, and then once that's done, we're going to start adding the rest of the ingredients. To this, I'm going to add some 1 egg, and then I'm going to add some vanilla essence as well. So let me just put this on stop.
So it really is a quick and easy recipe.
Very quick, very easy. And then you can definitely swap out certain things. Like for instance, if you wanted to add more ingredients at this point, you definitely could. You could add a bit of almonds into this. If you wanted to flavor it up, perhaps not just with vanilla essence, you can add something like almond essence into it to give it that almond flavor.
I do have quite a weakness for an almond cookie or an almond flavored cookie.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. So on top of this, because we're making cookies, we want to make the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. We want to do that separately. But to add on to our thumbprint cookies, I'm going to be adding our Clover Classic dairy snack, the plain version. And the reason for that is we're going to be using bicarbonate of soda or baking soda in our dry ingredients. And what this does, it basically wakes it up. So you know the reaction between yeast and sugar, where the yeast is basically there and you need your dough to sort of wake up. That's what the dairy snack will do to the baking soda. Basically make it do its work.
Okay, get it going. Because isn't it like with baking soda, you should avoid salt close by, because that cancels it out, right? Okay.
So that's why we're adding them. We're going to be adding them separately. But in this instance, we've already added our dairy snack in here. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to add our dry ingredients. So we've got our baking soda, we've got our baking powder, and then we've got our salt. So as you can see, I've added them separately there. And this, we're just going to mix it all together. That's our dry ingredients. And did you see how simple it was? It literally is less than 10 ingredients that we've added in here.
I'm quite fascinated. The difference between baking soda and baking powder. Are you able to help me out there?
The one does the work now.
Okay.
Right? So the one gets you your dough going, gets your batter going now at the beginning stages, and the other one does the work in the oven. So in essence, we're saying we want to keep the levels, you know, so we want to make sure that we start the leavening process and it keeps going throughout the baking process. So the baking soda will do the work right now as we're mixing the dough. You'll actually see if you're making cake doughs and you add your baking soda at the beginning, you'll see that it starts bubbling up at that point. But then once you put it in the oven, then the baking powder starts doing the work and making sure that you've got that beautiful leavening inside your oven.
Okay, see, you learn something new every day, Chef Tumi. I love your knowledge. And I'm so excited to see how quick this recipe is coming together. Of course, if you've just joined, we do have the recipe available for you. It's on our website, expressoshow.com. And what are you doing right now?
I'm about to roll our little thumbprint cookies, but before I do that, because I can see that it's slightly a little bit on the wetter side, I've added a bit of flour onto my hands just to make sure that I can at least be able to roll them. Okay. So now all we do is I'm going to roll them into nice, beautiful little rounds.
So you're going for nice big cookies?
I like them nice and big and chunky, because you also want to make sure when you give them a snack, you don't give them something they can keep coming back for.
True.
Because you want to just keep them busy for a bit.
But this is also quite nice, because as a grown-up, when you just go for one snack, it is a decent snack.
It is quite a decent snack. So let's think about the kiddies as well when we do this, because you did say big or small, we want to make sure that we keep them.
Okay,
you know.
So you did the thumbprint, and that's where we're going to fill in our delicious jam. Do you add the jam before or after you pop it in the oven?
So this is the trick. Some people like to do it after, but I like to do it before, because what that does is that as the cookie bakes in the oven, it also caramelizes and basically gives you, it holds onto your cookie and makes sure it melts nicely into your cookie.
Ooh, okay. We are adding the jam before. So now I get to do a thumbprint.
You get to do a thumbprint. I left that. Let's put our own stamp on everything. It's a new year.
Going for a big one. I want lots of jam.
And then if you don't want to use your fingers, you're more than welcome to use the back of a teaspoon or anything like that just to create that beautiful shape. But you see that what's going to happen is it's going to bake up in the oven. If you want to make them slightly flatter, you're more than welcome to do that as well.
Okay. And if you're not keen on jam, you can obviously swap this out for maybe some chocolate spread.
Yeah. And if you're feeling a little bit on healthier side, you can even use stuff like almond butter and stuff and just scoop it in there.
There we go. Chef Tumi bringing us the perfect snack on this Wednesday morning as we gear the kids to get back to school. And if you want your hands on this recipe, it is available on expressoshow.com.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.